Hi, I'm Suky from Professional Selection. Today I'd like to talk about how to take effective references. First of all, we know in most parts of the world it's illegal to give a bad reference, and a lot of employers have now these days gone to just confirming dates of employment. That's not really a reference. So what do you do when somebody has provided you, for example, their line manager, and you've got a contact number for them? Well, first of all, bear in mind, nobody is going to give you somebody as a reference that's going to give them a negative reference. So you just have to accept that. But that's not an issue. It's how you ask the questions and what you do next that will help get the most effective reference. So what's the first thing you do? First thing you do is you talk to your hiring manager. What areas do they feel they'd like some more clarities around? More often than not, a hiring manager will say, you know what, I wasn't quite sure about, let's use sales as an example, wasn't quite sure about his sales leadership style. Does he really lead from the front? So great, you know that they're the kind of questions that you're going to have to ask in the reference. So a lot of people have 20 questions already laid out on a piece of paper. Quite frankly, it's not worth the piece of paper they're written on. If you're just going to email that to somebody and say, please fill this out, you've wasted your time. Pick up the phone, talk to that person, ask those questions. Now you can ask those 20 questions if that's what you want, but it's how you're asking those questions. And remember, you've got your client's area that he wants some answers in. So ask the questions with a why. Why do you feel that is? So you've asked a question, go back with another why. More often than not, people will start talking. Ask them for examples, ask them to clarify. So why do you feel he's a great salesperson? If you ask the question, is this a great salesperson? People are going to say yes. Well, follow that up with why. Okay, because of A, B, C, D. Ask them to give you some examples. More often than not, they'll talk about a sales deal that the candidate was involved in, which again will highlight to you how much of a salesperson this candidate actually is. You don't have to get anything confidential from them. Make sure you let the client or the referee know that you're not asking for any confidential information. So continue asking the why. When it comes to areas such as training or strengths and weaknesses, again, most people will, especially when it comes to a weakness, will give you something very nonchalant. They'll say, oh, admin's no good. Well, that's not good enough. Again, we're talking about a salesperson and we're looking for a sales reference. So ask them for more clarity. Ask them, well, what do you mean admin's not good? It could well be that you've got somebody here who's a great salesperson but lousy at writing presentations, and the person doesn't want to say that. So again, keep asking that why question and ask for examples. Anyhow, hope this helps. You're never going to get the perfect reference, so don't look for the perfect reference, but also don't just email and ask them to fill out a form, because that reference is just going to be an essay, question and answer, and that doesn't help anybody. As always, would love to hear your feedback, so feel free to comment below. Thanks for taking the time.